Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for the weekly SmackDown Event Center report. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings on WWE SmackDown every Friday night, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2691. Well, SmackDown was over about a little bit over an hour ago. I ended up finishing watching one of the newest shows on the USA Network. It was hosted by a former WWE superstar in Braun Strowman. It's called Everything on the Menu. Braun Strowman, as you know, this is during his travels as a WWE superstar. He goes from restaurant to restaurant to try out many different things, the local flavors and all that. If you're a food connoisseur and you want to try, you're traveling all over, the country, you want to try different things and all that, this is the show for you. And it's called Everything on the Menu, and he tries a lot of things. He asks the locals what they recommend and all that, and Braun Strowman was in his home state of Wisconsin, even though he was born and raised in North Carolina, but he moved to Wisconsin to his family there. And when he got to try a lot of things and check out the show. It's a really cool show, very entertaining. Braun Strowman, one of the most entertaining dudes ever, man. Ever since his debut as the Wyatt family member and the black sheep of the Wyatt family, and he became one of the most popular superstars in the WWE, a legend, a Triple Crown champion, and very happy that Braun Strowman is doing something different. I think that you should do this show. This show is really cool. It's a cool show. I recommend. Also, as you know, excuse me, as you know, we're in the final stretch of November, the month of November. As you know, next week will be the full week of November. A little change in the routinic week, because Thursday is Thanksgiving, and I have Thanksgiving off because the mall is closed that day. But to make up for those lost hours, I'll be working the following Saturday. So I think regardless of that, I am still going to do the Card Sharks money cards on Saturdays, but it won't be on Saturday morning. So that's the week from tomorrow. So don't fret. Just because, I usually get up early on Saturday. I usually get up on Saturday mornings to do the Card Shark video, and then I know a lot of you folks will be expecting it. But for next week, and I believe for next week only, I will be only working. But the good news is it will be from 7 in the morning to 11 in the morning. So I'll be working the 4 hours, the usual 4 hours. So I just got to make sure I remind myself of that, because I don't want to be waking up late. You know what I mean? So that's for next week. All right. This week. Technically, this week is not over because we get the weekend. We get tomorrow, and then Sunday. I'll probably make my return on the Network 3000 channel to do another live reaction of the Patriots versus Cincinnati Bengals. I've heard rumors that Joe Burrow may play. And it'll be a challenge because I think the Patriots will be without Milton Williams, and also Austin Hooper will be sitting out this one because of the concussion protocol. So we'll see what happens. Right now the Patriots are at 9-2, trying to go for their 10th win and their 9th win in a row. Will they do it? Who knows? So it'll be a challenge. And the Patriots have been sitting pretty atop the AFC East. I never thought they'd be back there. I thought the Bills would be dominating. But the Bills lost to the Houston Texans last night. So there we go. All right. As you know, this coming SmackDown, as you know, and it's coming Monday Night Raw and all this final week, also set up for Survivor Series WarGames. That's right. WarGames it is. And we're going to start off by Paul Heyman and the Vision team of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. They're addressing the Denver crowd. The Usos came out. Paul Heyman says, "Hey, it's three of us against two. We didn't come alone. And then he played Cody Rhodes' music, and I thought Cody Rhodes would come out and join them. But then he was brutally attacked by Drew McIntyre, who was supposed to be suspended, but he's also banned from the building. And they come and check them out. The Usos are not very happy about that. So, and then the United States title challenge. Ilya Dragunov is decided to continue the open challenge. Who was opponent and challenger? None other than J.D. McDonough. Now, these two gentlemen have quite the historic rivalry dating back to the days of NXT UK. And when J.D. McDonough was known as Jordan Devlin. These two guys kind of picked it up where they left off. This was a hard-hitting matchup. But in the end, Ilya Dragunov retains the title. Great rivalry between those two. Now, Charlotte Flair was in the back talking to Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss opened up one of the doors and saw Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss is convincing Charlotte Flair to talk to Rhea Ripley. And so that means leaving Alexa Bliss and Io to talk to each other about strategy, maybe. And then Captain Kelly interviewed Nick Aldis, asking him about the condition of Cody Rhodes. I don't know what to tell you. And then he sees Heyman in the vision, confronts them. He says, "You're lucky. My hands are tied with Bronson Reed being part of the last time is now tournament." And speaking of last time is now tournament, before I go on to talk, after Heyman says, "We'll leave. We're going." Let me continue on. Tama Tonga tells Dragunov it's coming. It's like Tama Tonga wants a shot at the United States title. And then Tommaso Ciampa says, "Ignore him. They've ended up from Fraxiom. We're going after that." And then he goes, "Well, you're still a jackass." And then Johnny, it looks like the new shirt for DIY. And Johnny Gargano has a shirt. It says, "Don't call me a jackass." And then Johnny Gargano has it. And Candice LeRae have a shirt called, Don't call my best friend a jackass." And that's a good one. So, anyways, before I go on, continue about the tournament. Sheamus has suffered a shoulder injury. Now, he was supposed to face LA Knight in the quarterfinals, and he defeated Shinsuke Nakamura, but they're out. But since he's out, there'll be LA Knight. LA Knight took care of business when he went up against Zack Ryder. So who will be the mystery opponent now? Could, a lot of people want to see Joe Hendry get in the mix. I know Mark Henry does. Will Joe Hendry be in the mix for that match? So, I don't know. I heard that Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce will have in the meeting. And Ava should be involved, but Ava's got a lot of bigger fish to fry over at NXT. And besides, John Cena will make an appearance in NXT next week to announce the men's and women's Iron Survivor participants. Then you got Carmella Hayes versus Bronson Reed. This was a heck of a matchup. Braun Breaker and Logan Paul getting involved in the matchup, and then the Usos started fighting Braun Breaker and Logan Paul. And Paul Heyman had him distracted, and Bronson Reed's about to recommend Cody Rhodes attacks Bronson Reed, and then knocking out Bronson Reed, and Cody throws Carmella Hayes back in the ring, and it was a count-out victory. Carmella Hayes moves on in the tournament. And then Cody Rhodes addresses the Denver crowd about his WarGames opponents, and and he's still ticked off. So Chelsea Green was running around hiding, and then tells Alba Fire, "Watch out for anything." And then Kiana James and Julia were looking for Chelsea Green, and confronts Alba Fire about that. Chelsea Green, here's the drawback of holding a lot of championships at one time. You're going to have a target on your back from all different directions. I'm surprised Mercedes Moné has not learned that yet. But Chelsea Green's going to learn the hard way. One of these days, she's going to lose that Women's United States title. As Kiana James and Julia confronts Alba Fire about that. And then as Chelsea Green's the greatest women's champion of all time, Jade Cargill comes up. You want to say that again? Smart. And she walked away. Smart move by Chelsea Green. And then Sami Zayn, Rey Fenix, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Shinsuke Nakamura addressed the NXT's how a traditional Survivor Series matchup. It's like an old school Survivor Series promo they did. It was great. And they said they'll beat up the MFTs in that traditional Survivor Series match next week. And then Fraxiom went in a tag match with DIY. And it was a heck of a matchup. Candice LeRae, though, interfered by taking off Axiom's mask. It affected him. Johnny Gargano took advantage and put the pin on him. And then, the last time tournament, number 8, the last qualifying matchup, the last first round matchup, is with Penta and Finn Balor. And Penta ended up winning the matchup in a great matchup. Could have been a match of the year all over the world, but got to see it on SmackDown. It was totally awesome. And the MFTs addressed Team Sammy and Penta, as Penta will face Solo Sikoa in the quarterfinals of the last time is now tournament. And then, I forgot to say, Charlotte Flair ended up talking to, with Flair, and we'll put all differences aside. They decided to do so. They shook hands in the end. See, I can trust you. You can trust me. We can do this. And so Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley put it all together. And Rhea Ripley said, if anybody I want to have a WarGames match team with, and it will be Charlotte Flair. And then Rhea says, I got a lot of respect for you. So, and she accepted Rhea Ripley's offer to join the team. So to be a team of 4. So the ladies came out to address that and said they're going to introduce them to the 5th member. And AJ Lee is now the 5th member of Team Rhea for WarGames. Imagine this team. It's a spectacular team we put together. You got 4 of the most decorated ladies in the WWE. You got one of the longest reigning Divas champions in WWE history. We can talk about AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Dream Team. And as AJ Lee came out, they were blindsided by the other 4 teammates, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the Kabuki Warriors. And AJ Lee decided to help out her new team, and then Becky Lynch blindsides her and attacks her. And as Rhea Ripley's about to smack around as Rhea Ripley was about to smack around Nia, Becky Lynch grabbed the leg, and then Nia Jax attacked Rhea with the Annihilator, and then Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and the Kabuki Warriors stand tall, and then Becky Lynch goes over to Asuka, extends her hand, and guess what? They got their 5th member. Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, a woman who broke Becky's nose a few years ago. You got the newcomer Lash Legend, who will take her first place in WarGames, I do believe. First time in WarGames. And the Kabuki Warriors. That's a deadly team. The women's WarGames matchup is going to really be on a different level. So, that is it for today's episode of the show. As you know, tomorrow morning, I'll do some Card Sharks. And, I do have tomorrow off. It's the following Saturday that I don't have off. And I'll probably go back to the regular schedule of Monday through Friday, starting in December, until Christmas, the week of Christmas, because also Christmas falls on a Thursday. Falls on a Thursday as well. And I'll probably work that following Saturday as well. Probably the only 2 Saturdays I'm going to be working this year is possibly the Saturday after Thanksgiving and Saturday after Christmas. I think that's it. I think once Christmas is over, boom. Once the New Year hits, I'll probably go back to the regular Monday for Friday schedule. So that's going to be the deal. But I will be playing Card Sharks Money Cards tomorrow. We've got Full Gear ready to go. And I can't wait for Full Gear. It's going to be a lot of fun. And can't wait to see 3 of my favorite ladies from AEW in action on Full Gear tomorrow night. Yep, the Timeless Love Bombs. That will be Tony Storm, me, and Shirakawa. And then you got the lovely Harley Cameron. Now, I'm starting to like Willow Nightingale as well. I like Willow Nightingale. She's very sweet. Very sweet girl. You know, always smiling and having a lot of fun. You know, I never met her personally, but I would like to. So, once again, happy birthday to my good friend, to one of my big supporters, the Rant and Rave podcast. One of the big supporters of the Rant and Rave podcast. A fellow member of the network community, Mr. Jerome Latimer, a.k.a. Romy2184. Good guy that you are. Keep it up. The modern day Don Rickles of the internet. That's you, Romy. So I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your night. I'll see you tomorrow morning with some Card Sharks money cards, okay? And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.